Okay, this is Chapter 2, Lesson 4, the percent equation. So here's the percent equation. Part equals percent times whole. Now those three words are very familiar. They're from the percent proportion, right? Basically, the percent proportion and the percent equation are the same things. Okay, they will get you the same answer. So, I want to show you how you can use either one, okay, because one of them might be easier for you. So, you need to learn how to do both. So here I have 3 is 50% of 6. Okay, so 3 is, right, is goes with the part. So 3 is the part. Okay, equals 50%. 50% is going to be the percent. Times the whole of 6, right? Of goes with the whole. So 6 is going to be our whole. Okay, so remember, 3 is goes with the part. Of 6, of goes with the whole. So here's an example. What is 6% of 200? Okay, so again, we're going to do our underlining, our boxing, our circling. So what is 6% of 200? Okay, so you see those clue words again. So now we're just going to rewrite our percent equals, part equals, and whole equals, and our percent equation. So now let's fill in. Percent equals. Okay, well, percent is going to be 6, right? 6% it says. So I'm going to put 6. Oops, that's 6. Part, okay, is. What is? Do we know? No, right? So we're going to put an X. Whole of 200. Of, that's the clue word for whole. So whole is going to be 200. And now we're going to plug those numbers into the formula. Okay? Now there's one little change in here, but I'll show it to you when we get up there. So part, okay? Our part is X, right? So X equals percent times whole. Now the percent, this is where it gets tricky and a little different. Instead of just putting 6, okay, we have to change it. We have to change it to get out of 100, because 6% means out of 100. So to change a percent, and we'll do a decimal because that's a little easier. To change a percent to a decimal, right, we have to move the decimal point 2 spaces to the left. Okay, so if I have 6%, right, the invisible decimal is here. Think of money, right, $6. So now I have to move the decimal point 2 spaces to the left. Now, what goes in that little loop? 0. Okay, so we have 0.06. So that number is what's going to go into the formula. Okay, so for 6%, we're going to put 0.06, okay, and then multiplied by the whole, which in this case is 200. So now we filled up our formula, okay, our equation. So we have X equals 0.06 times 200. Now, if you look at this, all you really have to do is multiply, because X is already by itself. So whatever the answer is to 0.06 and times 200, that's going to be our answer. So when you do your multiplication, X equals 12. 200 times 200 times 0.06 is 12. So what is 6% of 200? 12 is 6% of 200. Here's another example. What percent of 40 is 9? Okay, so again, we're going to do our underlining, our circling, and our boxing. What percent of 40 is 9? Oops, sorry. Of 9. Whoa. Oh my God. What percent of 40 is 9? Sorry. Oh, okay, so now we're going to write out a percent equals, part equals, and whole equals. Okay, so let's see. Percent. Our percent, okay, what percent? What percent? Do we know? No. So we're going to put an X. Part. We're looking for is. Is 9. So our part is going to be 9. And the whole, of. We're looking for of 40. So our whole is going to be 40. Okay, so now let's replace the words, the letters with the numbers, okay? Part 9 equals percent, we don't know, x times the whole, which is 40. So now I have 9 equals 40x. Okay, x wants to be by itself. It needs to cancel the 40 out. How do you do that? You divide by 40, because 40 divided by 40 is 1, times x is x. Okay, we have to do that on both sides. So x is going to be whatever 9 divided by 40 is. When you do that, you're going to get a decimal. And that decimal is going to be 0.225. Okay, now, again, we're looking for the percent. Okay, x equals the percent. We're looking for that. Okay, so right now what we have to do is we have to change this decimal into a percent. And the way to do that is you take the decimal point and you move it 2 spaces to the right. Because remember before when we had to turn a percent into a decimal and we moved the decimal point 2 spaces to the left? Well, now we're doing the opposite. We're turning a decimal to a percent. So we have to move the decimal point 2 spaces to the right. Okay, so when we do that, we get 22.5. Okay, and again, we're looking for percent. So 22.5% equals x. So what percent of 40 is 9? 22.5% of 40 is 9. Last example. 39 is 84% of what number? Okay, again, we'll do our boxing, circling, and underlining. 39 is 84% of what number? Okay, let's label. Percent equals, part equals, and whole equals. All right, the percent. 84%. 84%. Part is, we're looking for is. 39 is 39. Whole, we're looking for the word of. Of what number? What number do we know? No, so we're going to put in x. Okay, now let's fill in. Part. We know the part is 39. 39 equals percent, 84%. And remember, we have to change that. Times x, because the whole is x. Let's change the 84% to a decimal. Right? So if we move 2 spaces to the left, we get 0.84 times x. Okay, so now we have 39 equals 0.84x. X wants to be by itself, so we have to divide. In this case, we're dividing by 0.84, not 84, 0.84. There's a big difference there. That cancels. So now we're dividing 39 by 0.84. When you do that, okay, you get a decimal. Okay, and we're just going to round to the nearest whole number in this case. Okay, so your decimal does come out to be 46.428 ... Okay, so but if we round to the nearest whole number, then we look at the whole number. You look to the number next to it. All right, 5 or higher up the score, 4 or less stay at rest. We're going to stay at rest. So 46 equals x. 39 is 84% of what number? 39 is 84% of 46.